Just recording for YouTube if it turns out. Never know, right?
You never know.
Chad.
We have the fire department.
What did we miss? We were out of town for a little while. We were trying to look for friendly folk feeding truckers just outside of town.
Yeah. Fairly sharp left here. Worst case Ontario.
Where's the snow? What time is it? It's still early, I guess. We're told it's gonna snow tonight. Snow heavy tonight.
Oh, we're
Wednesday,
not going
Thursday.
that way, I suppose.
There's a teepee ceremony tomorrow too, so if it snows a lot, that'll make it interesting. We're gonna be building a teepee,
Please go in the teepee.
do a pipe ceremony. Just go in the teepee. Out of the that teepee shelter. That makes sense, actually.
And they have built teepees in the snow before. I think they've done it a couple of times.
You ever gone camping in the snow?
I don't know if I have or not. In a tent, I don't know if I have. In other, like, trailers and stuff, I have. I don't know if I consider that camping.
Have you ever had to set up shelter in the snow?
I believe so. Well, yeah, definitely, yeah. Yeah.
Like a lean-to?
Like all sorts of different shelters, depending on what you're... Like a living accommodations, or shelters for work, or shelters for events.
I've passed out in the snow before.
I don't remember if I passed out in the snow before.
How about I say it this way? I've woken up in the snow.
Yeah, that might be more correct, more accurate. This guy's gonna think we're following him. Technically we are, but we're not.
It's been a pretty quiet night. We're now following a fire truck with no lights on.
What is he doing? Oh, there's a whole bunch of people.
Is he doing a head count?
They must be legitimately going to a call. Where are we going here? Did this just really just make us do a loop? We're gonna have to try a different tactic to get down to our hotel, I guess.
Are you getting pretty familiar with Ottawa roads yet and where everything is, or?
I'm getting a pretty good image of where we are, or where things are, but I have a little ways to go. Especially with gravel trucks and graders parked. Convoy's easy to get around because they let you go by, but the gravel trucks and the graders don't let you go by.
What's a grader?
Is that a loaded question?
No, actual.
A grader is something that grades roads. It's got a grader blade on it. I love how I'm explaining this with the word grader.
Is it like the big wheel thing with the nubs on them?
With the nubs on them?
Yeah, or is it just like the flat, like the steamroller?
No, that's one of those is a smooth drum roller, and one of the other one's a sheep foot. A grader is 6 wheels with the long stretched out front wheels or nose of it, and it's got a blade in between the front wheels and the back too.
Okay, so is it like what you would use to get rid of snow?
They do use in the windrow snow, yeah.
And it creates sparks on the ground when they do it.
Not all the time. If you're moving at a good clip and you're on pavement, it'll make sparks, but it doesn't always.
So what's it do? It clears and flattens the road?
No, it grades it off to the side, of windrows it. So if you had a grader in that, if this was all full of snow and you had a grader in that lane and a grader in this lane, that lane, the grader in the left lane would windrow it to the right lane, and the grader in the right lane would windrow it to the outside. Then they also have another wing on the edge of them, and they would pile it up against the barrier and over top of the barrier and push it over. or if there wasn't a barrier there, it'd push it off into the ditch. The wing is designed to clear the ditches or the shoulders. And they'll do that if they have like 3-4 lanes of highway. They'll do that. Sometimes they use plow trucks to do that same method, but they use graders on, they're traditionally used on roads to grade roads or big parking lots before paving. And because they make such a smooth surface, being that they're a long wheelbase and they have the blade in the middle, so any bumps get, you know, cut in half immediately just because the grader blade is between the two axles. If it was ahead of the axles, you can get an increase or an enhanced. If you hit a bump, it'll actually enhance the bump, or it'll create more. Whereas if it's in between the two axles, it minimizes it.
So with your skill set, then you're not really limited to one specific trucking job, like, or it's just because you've got a lot of experience in doing a variety of things that, or is it like you can kind of pick up certain things with a truck and then it transcends to different types of jobs? Or
Are you referring to trucks or equipment?
so heavy equipment operator is the skill set of being a truck driver, lead right into heavy equipment, or they're very, very different things?
I mean, truck driving and heavy equipment, there's a lot of similarities, but no, they're quite different. There's you can be if you're a good truck driver, chances are you have a better chance of being a good equipment operator, and vice versa. But equipment is mainly hydraulics, where trucks are not hydraulics. If you're running a truck, or a piece of equipment, and you instead of focusing on learning how to run that piece of equipment, you focus on how to run hydraulics, then you have extremely high why is there a dinosaur on that sign? Did you see that?
First time seeing it. That's a triceratops. First time seeing that. I think that's a triceratops. No, that's not, is it? That's not a triceratops. What is that?
There's definitely a dinosaur on that. Right here, you see it?
The statue, right?
No, the sign.
The sign. Oh, that is wow. There's also a statue behind you. Oh. That's why.
Oh, that makes more sense. But if you learn how to run hydraulics, focus on that, then that will we have a go sign here. That'll transcend or transfer into all hydraulically driven equipment, and into some components on some trucks. Most trucks are just traditional semis, are not hydraulic in any way, shape, or form. Whereas some trucks do have hydraulic systems on them. Dump trucks, crane trucks, boom trucks, all sorts of different things like that. But if you learn how to run hydraulics in a grader, you know, excavators they move different functions, but the sensitivity of hydraulics, the functioning of electric over hydraulic or straight drive hydraulics, all have very similar components. They just have to figure out what the machine does, and it's how in a geometrical fashion how it moves and what the best ways to operate it are. But that's a lot quicker picked up than learning the hydraulic skill itself. And then if a person learns if you're an avid learner of physics, learning the geometry of a machine comes almost by looking at it. And if you have the feel of hydraulics, then going into any machine is just a matter of a short period of time in order to understand it. To become an operator is different than running it, though. A lot of times people say they're an equipment operator because they can move the controls around and make the machine do something. That's like, no, that's running the controls. And it takes years to be an operator. So there's lots of people that can get in a piece of equipment and run the controls, but that's not an operator. And then there's other dynamics on top of that, of working in tight places, knowing that your machine where it can and can't go, being sensible or with people around. There's different times to push the machine, there's different times to be cautious. There's times when there's, you can be fast, you can be rammy, you can be, or you have to sometimes, and there's other times where finesse is the trick, and some operators can do all those, some operators can't, or I should say, some operators can, some operators can't, and some people that they just run controls, they're not so good in maybe tight areas or with around working with people, because that's another dynamic, is working with people. If you're craning and hoisting like with excavators or cranes, then that's a whole nother dynamic, that when you're listening to controls and sometimes you have to operate by somebody else's hand movements, you don't actually get to see what's happening, you have to just trust in them. So then there's an element of trust. You have to know who you're working with and what their hand signals are, how there's always a delay in hand signals, and all that plays a huge part into it, and eventually it becomes not intuition comes tuition, no, it becomes second nature, but it's by feel and by just time in the seat, and second nature I guess would be a way. No, it's like you sense things. And you can feel
almost.
Intuitive, that's the one. You can feel things in a machine. Like I can feel plastic versus rock. I can feel even a drill when we're drilling underground. We hit a fire line one time, which is poly pipe, and they were telling me, they're like, no, it's not poly. I was like, no, it's poly pipe. We're on that fire line. And what had happened is they had cut the road and all the gravel out, which was about a 2-foot difference, and they didn't account for it when they checked their hydrovac hole down to the pipe. They're like, oh, we got 2-3 feet of clearance, and nobody took into account that all that gravel and asphalt, there's 4 to 8 inches of asphalt that got removed, plus foot and a half of road base that got removed, and that just slipped the mind. And they came back to me and they said, no, we got 2 feet of clearance for sure. And I said, it's not, I am on poly. They said, well, maybe it's asphalt. I said, it's not asphalt. They said, well, it's, there's all sorts of stuff buried in here. It was at a refinery. And I just said to him, I said, I'll keep reaming, but someone's got to sign off on it, because I know we're on that pipe. And I was a young guy back then. I was only 20 maybe. And they said, yeah, I'll sign off on it. You can go, and if anything happens, it's nothing, no weight on your shoulders. And I was like, it's on yours? He said, yeah. I said, I'm on that pipe. He said, no, you have 2 feet of clearance. I said, okay. Started reaming. It was about a minute and a half later. We had like a 10-foot geyser come out of that hydrovac hole, flooded 3 units in the refinery. Minus 30 weather. We were there till 2 in the morning fixing this fire hydrant line. And it's just something you get to feel of. You can feel grinding, you can feel pressures. Like asphalt has a gritty, soft feel, where poly has just a soft, smooth feel, and concrete has an aggressive, hard, gritty feel. And it's like, well, how can you feel that through the electric over hydraulic controls, or even just direct hydraulic controls? And you feel it in the seat, you feel it in your boots, you feel it in your door as your knees resting against. You feel it throughout the whole machine, and that's the dynamic of being an operator, not just going, oh, I'm an operator. No, that's not an operator. That's dangerous. And everyone's got to start somewhere, and that's where if there isn't an element of not fear in it, but a healthy fear of a machine and what the power they have, then it becomes extraordinarily dangerous. Because my grandfather taught me at a very young age. He showed me. He actually took I was running a backhoe, and I was probably only like 7 or something, and the jacks of this trailer had sunk into the mud, and he told me to bring the backhoe over, stick it underneath the hitch as a fifth wheel to lift it up, and then we're going to put skids underneath it so it wouldn't sink anymore. We could get a truck underneath it. So I brought it over there, and he's like, oh, stop. And I'm like, hold up. And so I held. He went and got a fence post, and he come back out and stuck a fence post in the bucket. And right away in my mind, I'm like, sticking it across the bucket and lifting on that. There's no way that fence post will hold the weight of that machine, or that trailer. And I knew this at the age I was because I've been doing it for a while. I've been around it my whole life, and I started operating at 5. And Grandpa, he'd say, go up, 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 and it crushed the picket. And I knew it was going to do that. And so I was like, what is he doing? It just didn't make any sense. My grandpa was, kind of quirky that way. And so he told me to go down. So I went down, he said, hold. And he says, you come here. So I come out to him. I got out of the machine, went over to him. He said, you see what that picket happened to that picket? I said, yeah. And then he like instantly reached down, grabbed my leg, and like hiked my leg up on top of the bucket. I was too short to get it up there, but it was the gesture, and it scared me. I was like, holy fuck, what's going on? And then the whole point of it was just to engrave in my mind that picket is a lot stronger than my leg. I know what it did to that picket and how easy I pulled on the controls. It was like next to no pressure at all. And it was just like, yeah, like that would absolutely sever a limb in no matter of seconds. With I wouldn't even really notice it. I mean, you could feel pressure on it with the picket. I mean, probably wouldn't feel pressure on it with a human leg. Maybe when it got to the bone just before it snapped. But it was, stuff like that is what I got taught. And a lot of people don't, and they don't understand it. When they see the machine digging in hard dirt, it's like, wow, is that powerful? And then you go take a shovel and go dig in that same dirt, and it's like, it is unbelievably powerful. Like yeah. So sometimes when people, they get used to them, they get complacent, and they don't actually understand how powerful they are. They forget, and that's what complacency is, I suppose, in the definition. And people can get seriously injured from that, and it's that's where a good operator, then there's good operators and bad operators. Maybe they do know the controls, maybe they are good at what they do, but a good operator is always, in a military term, they're always frosty, stay frosty, always alert, always watching, always have that healthy, not, I don't want to use the word fear, but that's for lack of better words, healthy fear of just how powerful the machines are, and to respect them. And you can do some incredible things with it. You can get down to extremely finesse stuff where I've picked up pop bottles just for weird shits and giggles. The guys were on a job site and we were slow, so they or actually no, I don't even think we were slow. I think someone dropped their bottle and their coffee cup in the hole, and I had a thumb on the hoe. And one guy said, well, just pick it up. I don't want to go down there. And sometimes they're in a trench where you can't go down unless you have a cage. Otherwise, or you have to cut the whole V out, or cut the whole walls out to a V so it doesn't cave in on you. And it's a safety thing, and legally you can't even go down in holes like that anymore. Back in the day we used to. But you're not allowed to anymore. And I say back in the day, and a lot of people are probably like, well, you're not old enough to be saying that. And it's like, I started at a young age. I was digging holes that, I think the first time around an excavator I was 7, so that's quite a few years ago now. And so I reached in there and I went to grab it with my thumb, and the guy was like, no, you're gonna crush it. And I picked it up and I brought it to him and I dropped it in his hand. And it's it doesn't always work out like that. Sometimes you do that and you bump the controls and it's like, whoops, sorry bud, oh yeah, contigo. But it's you can get really finesse with these things, and it's quite impressive. I've seen people they can flip plywood, they'll put stuff in the back of trucks, they'll pick stuff out of trucks, they'll all sorts of different things with them, and it's or how they cut different materials. It's amazing. I think we just got blocked in somehow here. You see that? The guy just pulled up behind us, parked crooked, and shut her down. You see that?
Kind of. He's on your side.
Yeah, he is. And our loader is moving up front. What's going on here?
Well, if they pull in one more vehicle, we got our parking spot for the night.
It makes the mind wonder. Why would they park like that?
Is this a police base station truck or no?
No, I don't think so.
These guys might not be going anywhere.
Look at this fucking guy. Look how he parked.
Yeah, I was kind of curious about that.
I'm like, why'd you park the guy? He goes, I own a business over there. You're blocking off my road. I'm like, well, why'd you park over there? He goes, because he can't get by anyways. I'm like, yeah, but the garbage guy's gonna move. He's like, he can't get by anywhere anyways. I'm like, why'd you park like that? Like, the ambulances can't get by. So, same guy. Same guy. So,
yeah, there's been more
I'm
issues
like, you know
from.
what? Like, do what you want, but the cops will give you a hard time about that.
Yeah.
We're not blocking off any fucking roads. Hey, if you want to go to a restaurant and have your life back,
The garbage truck is in. The garbage truck is there.
Truck. You can sit like that. You can sit in your car.
do you own a bar?
Yeah, down the road. Yeah.
That's awesome. So you know we're doing this for you too, right?
My bar hasn't opened yet, and my contractors have canceled for the last week, and I've lost $1,000 this week.
$1,000.
Yeah.
Okay.
I know it's
I
not. I
lost
know.
200
Trust me.
But
I know.
I'm just
Trust
saying-
me. I know that the amount is not terrible. I
It's
get it.
$1,000 is $1,000, bro. I
But
understand
look,
that. Okay,
I'm 26 years old.
that's good.
This is all my money I have.
Dude, I started my company when I was 19, so I know what you're talking about. Okay, but we're doing this for you too.
I know. I'm not against you guys.
But now, why'd you park like that?
Because I just want to see my fucking bar.
Yeah,
because
but you
people
could've parked-
calling me. I get you say that now, and I get it. I do.
Okay.
But when I try to go down, this is my third road I'm trying to go down, and every road has three cars. Yeah, I can't do shit.
Okay.
I'm just like, fuck. I want to see.
Which
You
is
know what?
interesting because we
Here's
could
the
drive
problem.
down them before.
I know you can.
No,
like this one
sorry,
is-
just the three roads going this way. I don't know about this way.
Yeah.
That garbage
This way
truck's
is-
moving in about 2 minutes. We
This
gotta
is
drive
the
right
only
through.
road where there's one of you. The next two over, I'm fucked.
Because this
There's
is the
nowhere to go.
emergency road.
Okay, well, I don't know. Your plans, like.
Well, we didn't make the plan when we got told this is the emergency road. Just keep
Sure,
going.
what is this
So
guy
it's
doing?
why they'll
What is
give you
this
a
guy
hard time.
doing?
He's
I'm
up in the garbage
not
cans.
trying to be a dick to you guys.
I haven't seen any
Like this
any
guy-
action
Yeah,
there.
well,
for
on the
today.
other side, he's talking to a couple drivers.
Oh, yeah, yeah.
Actually
But no,
dump all
he's
the bins,
cool guy. He's
and
actually
then you'll be able to drive
supporting us.
straight through.
Yeah, right
He's
on.
like, you guys are fucking awesome, man. He's like, I wish I was part of this convoy. I was talking to that guy over there.
Yeah, good stuff.
My bar's getting fucked up. I gotta go check on it.
What are they doing to your bar? They spray painting and shit? I don't know why they would fuck your bar. I mean,
I don't
people.
know. I haven't seen it yet.
I don't know why they would fuck with your bar, but people are fucking with the trucks. That's why we're on rotation, right? So we're walking
And I
around.
get it.
So-
I'm not trying to.
It's all
I'm
good.
not anti your cause or pro anything else. I just.
Yeah.
I don't live in Ottawa. I live outside the city. People tell me the bar that my contractors are building, they haven't been all week. I can't go to my bar. They're like, should probably check on it. It's probably fucked. Third road I go down, I can't fucking get there. I'm sick of it.
Yeah,
I
we
just
totally
wanna
get
see
that.
it.
The only issue is, like I said, when you park like that, you're gonna raise concerns with the cops because we're not
For
supposed to
sure.
block out this road.
For sure. But
Look, it's
as far as anyone that we understand or the news we get, the cops aren't doing shit. Wait, no matter how you park. So that's
Yeah.
how we understand it.
No, well, we haven't like we talked. All the cops are like.
We would work with the cops on
I get it.
keeping
I'm not trying to work
emergency.
with the
Yeah.
work for. I'm just
The
trying to
difference is though,
fucking
man,
see
like,
what
like
happens.
you see guys like park like that, they're in the truck. If they see an ambulance, he's gonna put in reverse and move out of the way.
Well,
Where
I've
if you
seen-
park your car like that and you walk away,
I don't know their.
well, the lights were on it and it was pretty obvious. 'cause
Every fucking road, are they all in every fucking truck?
I
don't
mean,
know.
you got
I'm
in
not
your
a
car, you
trucker.
walk
I
by,
don't
he's got an
know.
orange vest on, so if you can't see him,
I
then
work
just
in bars. I don't know
lots of
what the fuck's going on
optometrists that
Okay,
have
well,
lots of
listen,
questions.
shit. Listen, good
I'm
luck with
gonna
your
go.
bar. Good
It's
luck
all
with your
good.
bar.
So yeah.
And I-
Well, hopefully your bar is
Yeah, no
good,
problem.
man. It should be.
Good luck with your bar. I honestly wish you the best success. Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, no problem, you guys.
Alright,
we'll
I'm
come-
really not
we'll-
anti what you're doing. I'm just like
I get
kind
it.
of
Frustrated.
anti the organization of how this is going down.
Yeah,
That's
frustrated.
all
Yeah. That's understandable.
All
Okay.
the best.
These fucking states like fucking moves 50 miles away, so I don't know why you challenge a parking ticket. Like, why would you want a cop to walk up to you while you're driving? You're fucking half of the bag.
Did he smell like booze?
Drive like a fucktard.
Half of the bag. You don't smell the booze?
Yeah.
Hard, like, you're gonna get pulled over for that shit.
He
or get
does,
questioned,
eh?
you're
I
fucking
couldn't
going-
smell him from
I
here.
smell.
but-
So, I
And
smell.
then they're gonna arrest someone like this, and they're gonna blame it on the driver's watch.
Yeah.
You know?
Well, that's the worst thing. We had a snowball thrown at us and it cracked the windshield.
Are you serious?
Yeah, we were driving down one of these streets and I honked. And it was like boom, and it was like, fucking yeah, it landed right here.
But those same people who are throwing snowballs at you, if we are successful in what we're doing, and you can go to a restaurant and fucking go, they're gonna go to the restaurant, right? They're gonna take advantage of what we're doing.
They're gonna travel. They're going to a restaurant. And they're gonna be happy they don't have to put a rash pass and all the rest
Like
of
they're
it.
gonna be, it's just like.
I mean, it's never gonna stop.
The
Like
thing
it's
is,
gonna
though,
be.
man, you can't make an omelet without cracking a few eggs, right? You know? Okay, man.
That's true. Have a good night, brother.
Good night.
That was an interesting turn of events. See, and that's why we're out here filming it. Are you still filming or what?
Oh yeah. Our 25-minute YouTube video right now. You gave
It's
us
so random, but it's good.
we got to learn about equipment operating and truck driving tonight. We got to.
Oh, we got 3 cops pulling in here behind us. They were trying to wave down a cop to talk to him there about that guy probably, and they just drove right past.
Oh boy. Couple smokies going by.
Yeah, they're trying to talk to her. They're trying to wave down a cop to talk to him and talk to him about, you know, erratic driving and stuff, or possibly an intoxicated driver. But the cops don't want to listen to it. They look like they're on a mission, to be honest with you, those cops. They're just flying by in a line of 4 or 5. What are they doing? Protecting the people? Serving the people? Well, we are right over here. We gotta find parking somewhere in a safe zone.
Behind this diesel mobile, that's not a safe zone. Just keep to the right and park back there. Unless there's a fire hydrant right there, that could be it.
Apparently the Sheraton's right there. Wonder if we could maybe park in there, talk to those guys and see if they would watch out for any suspicious action. This is where we got the snowball.
See if the guy's still stocked up or not, eh?
What's that?
See if the guy's still stocked up or not.
Well, it's late. I don't want to lay on the horn right now.
I'm wondering if he's waiting for the next snowfall.
Is he running out of ammo?
Yeah. He said it's gonna snow tonight, so we'll see if Snowball Man stocks up.
So the Sheraton is
Just to the right here, isn't it?
well, according to this, it's in this building here, but that guy's friendly. What's this guy doing? Yeah, that's the Sheraton there. So I guess we go drive around the block to see. I wonder why people are sour like that.
Try to run after the guy?
How far did he go? You don't see him, do you? No? Should probably go this.
I think he's about 200 meters down there. But yeah, one of these guys would be good to run up to. Those are the good ones to get the GoPro body cam behind the scenes shot on.
could park something like right here, but we don't want to block off businesses too much. Can we go I don't know what that guy's talking about, because we just drove through there, so. If we were to park in here maybe and ask if those guys are okay with that. Maybe.
Yeah.
Well, now we got these guys behind us. What are they doing out this time of night?
Picker?
Yeah, the guy with the bucket truck behind us. Cell phone blockers? We should have asked that guy. Hey, let's go drive around the block if we find something closer. If not, we just about took the mirror off. If we find someone around the block, we'll come back if we don't. But
Police working in shifts tonight. Well, they probably just started a new shift.
this is all tow away zone? Is that the idea?
No stopping. So they could technically tow all these.
After 6.
6 a.m. to 6 p.m. So we're good till 6 a.m. here.
Do we do it?
You want to leave at 6 a.m.?
I don't imagine these vehicles leaving at 6 a.m.
Put the camera up in here, and then as soon as we see the tow truck, we...
I like our odds on this one.
Alright. We'll catch you guys later.
That we will. Thanks for coming along on our journey. We had some conversation, some interesting events. And now we're going to go catch some shut-eye as they put up something with the bell truck there. Over and out.